Mark Ingstar, nice to see you, my man.
Yes, nice to be back and see everyone.
I
Hey,
didn't
Mark.
expect you.
Well, he had to show up for number 200.
Yeah, get out of my way.
What time is it where you are, Mark?
Two.
Hello there, Anita. Nice to see you. This is Anita's first time with us today.
Well,
Good
welcome.
morning, Anita. Welcome into the room, Anita.
Thank you.
Nice to
You're gonna
see
have a
you.
good time here, Anita. You're gonna have a good time.
Welcome, Anita.
Now,
Thank
listen,
you.
Alan.
Welcome.
we'll get started. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 200. We got it right, John? Yes? 200 of our Your Next Level Mastermind. And our topic for today, which could be a bit of a murky for some people, I call it turning no into next. And we'll come back to that in a minute. Okay. For
I
those who
might
are watching, sorry,
go over and get my laptop.
you can do whatever you want to, Anita. That's fine. Okay. Now, Brian, make sure you keep it nice and brief, or I'm watching what you're doing.
I just re-put it in briefer.
Good on you, my man. All right. For those who are watching the replay, these people here are giving up their time, effort, and expertise. They come from all over the world, whether they're in the networking or wellness or body. I mean, there's a whole range of backgrounds here, and you'll hear what they have to say to you in a few minutes. All right. The most important thing I want you to do, if you're watching this replay, is to actually not just click any links, but actually talk to these people. Talk to them. Right? You may be in a situation where you want some finance. Go and talk to George. Okay, he's got all sorts of opportunities if you qualify. I mean, you got to qualify to get to George, but if you can, he can help you. Or you need leads, you can talk to Brenda. Or if you need to get more sales, go and talk to Brian. Okay, if you're in the C-suite management area and you've got all sorts of problems, go and talk to Vangelis. He can fix you up. The most important thing, wherever your background is, these people, if they don't have the expertise you want, I'll guarantee you they know who does. So why not book a time with each and every one of them? Just 15 minutes with them, that's all. They probably can't give you any more anyway because they're busy. Talk with them about what you would like to achieve or what your issue is, and they can either help you or point you in the right direction. And it's free. This is a free service we're giving to you, all right? So don't miss the darn opportunity. All right, we'll come to the topic in a minute, but let's start off by getting them to introduce themselves to you, who they are, what they do, so you who are watching the replay can get an idea about them. And don't forget, reach out to every single one of them. Underneath the YouTube video, you'll see a link from them. Book a time and go and talk with them. All right, so Brenda, I want to start with you today, okay? Brenda, followed by John Allen.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Brenda Marie Sheldrick. I'm in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, and I am the Biz Leads expert. I help you create leads that last and clients that stick through relationship building. I have coaching courses and community.
Well, that was beautiful to the point. I like that. Thank you, Brenda. John Allen, followed by George.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, no matter where you are in this big world. I'm John D. Allen, Allen's Small Business Coaching. What I do is I help people create trust in just one call. It helps eliminate in this skeptical world. There's so much commoditized stuff that everybody looks and sounds the same. And when you do that, you're not getting anywhere in your sales. So what I do is show people how they can build trust so that people want to work with you right away. The other great thing is starting on February the 4th, there's a small business breakthrough group that'll be up there that people can join this community for free. And put the link's actually my connection stuff that if anybody wants to sign up for it to join you, you do have to qualify, but there's going to be a ton of great free information. The call will be at 8 a.m. It's on a Tuesday morning, February the 4th. Look forward to seeing everybody there.
Thank you, John. What's the name of the group again? Oh, sorry,
Small
community?
Business Breakthrough Community.
Small Business Breakthrough Community. Okay,
Yep.
thank you, John. George Allen, followed by Kristine.
Good morning, everyone, and all you people watching this YouTube video from Winnipeg, Manitoba, or should I say Winterpeg, Manitoba? I don't know. I'm kind of debating that right now. My name is George Noggle, and I help fund businesses from $1 to $30 million and tech funds, consumer packaging goods, and finance companies. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, George. Nice and short and sweet. I like that. Right to the point. Well done. Okay. Kristine, followed by Vangelis.
Thanks, Peter. Hi, everyone. I'm Kristine Best, and I'm a singer-songwriter and a wellness strategist. I love to inspire you through the lyrics of my songs and to empower you through my seminars and coaching and consulting so that you are the master of your wellness journey. And I love to do that because chronic disease and mental health problems are an increasing problem worldwide. I'm about getting rid of the habits and behaviours that cause them because they're largely preventable. And then I help you establish healthy habits and behaviours that are going to take you in the trajectory of your wellness to the state you want to be in the future.
Thank you, Kristine.
Thank you.
Well said. Well said. Vangelis, followed by Yvonne.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vangelis, and I'm here in Costa Rica. You know, CEOs are very driven, they're very focused, and they have to keep up and maintain a variety of things. Performance numbers as well as a particular image. And they've been so busy building their business, I guess you can agree that they can sometimes get lost in all that busy activity. So instead of being in control and making decisions for themselves, they stay up awake at night and begin to feel overwhelmed because maybe they're not really in control like they think. Their business is controlling them, their fears are controlling, maybe their family life or whatever. So people call me because I help them find themselves again so they can sleep peaceful at night, begin to enjoy life and to live their life.
Thank you, Vangelis. Thank you very much. Yvonne, followed by Pat.
Hello, everyone. I am Yvonne A Jones, currently located in Florida. And you know how business owners spend a lot of their resources, time and money especially, attracting new clients and new customers. We all do it, right? But what if instead you were to focus on building authentic connections and building strong trust-based relationships so that you're able to retain the clients or customers you attract rather than constantly having a revolving door? That's what I help my clients to do. I am Yvonne A Jones, and my mantra is focus on relationships and the money will follow. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you. Pat, sometimes I might apologise. Sometimes I say Patrick because I look at you on LinkedIn, it says Patrick, and on Facebook it says Pat. So I presume you prefer Pat, is that right?
I do. Yeah, I signed up on LinkedIn when it first got started many years ago, when I was in the corporate world.
Right.
Not there anymore, and that's why I rarely use it. But I find myself going back there now for this group. They've been connecting with me, and I really appreciate it. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm starting to work my way back there.
Well,
Anyway,
we'll have Pat. Sorry, go on.
Pat is the way it works. Yeah, and then we used to have Pat Kern, so it was kind of who am I talking to?
Actually, he's
yeah.
coming back on board, he tells me, so I don't know.
Oh, good.
Anyway, Pat Dryer, followed by Anita.
Hello, everybody. I am Pat Dryer from Phoenix, Arizona, in the United States here. And very simply, I just show people how to make money. When I retired, I found a lot of people that were my age and older that couldn't. And I thought I was going to go off and play with my grandkids, play golf, and do a lot of travel. But I still do that. It's just that I got kind of brought back into this because I saw so many people that really needed a way to make money in their retirement years or try to get away from the corporate world. So I've always marketed network marketing as a business opportunity. So I would show people how to build a business as a consumer versus selling products. But now I've got a product that's changing my views on marketing for now. It's really big and it's growing all over the world, especially in some of the poorest countries. We've even got our second biggest markets are in Eastern Europe and the UK. But it's a product that allows you to trade investments where you don't have to be an expert and you don't have to have a bankroll. So we enable the newest beginner to leverage other people's trades with other people's money using a tap to trade option on your phone. So if you want to learn how this works, just connect with me. My details are in the messages here, or you can just go to patdryer.com. Thank you, Peter.
Thank you very much, Pat. Anita, nice to see you. Welcome for the first session today. Anita, followed by Mark Inkster.
Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm in Sandusky, Ohio. The last 2 days, the schools have been closed because it's so cold here. It's, I think it's -4 degrees out here. But anyways, I'm a social media manager and I enjoy helping business owners connect with their target audience so that they can spend the time doing what they want. I help create the content, the stories, and the graphics, as well as do Facebook ads, which are relatively inexpensive. I know you can do ads on WhatsApp for like $1 a day, and I've been getting some business owners inquiries from them, like construction owners and painters. And so it's, you know, a lot of people think that you have to spend a lot of money to do an ad, but it's really not that bad.
Okay. Thank you, Anita, and welcome to your first session. Welcome to your next level community. Mark Inkster in the middle of the night over there in the land of the long white cloud, followed by Alan Edwards.
Yeah, Mark Inkster, founder of the Strategist group. And what we do is we help people to grow their businesses. We can help you with your issues, whether it's marketing, whether you want a business done with you, done for you. You have coaching programs you'd like to have sold for you, wellness products and that you'd like to be a part of. We have a lot. You can sell our products and services, and we'll sell yours for you at the same time. So we've got a lot of opportunities. Just reach out for a chat.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. Well done, mate. Thank you. Alan Edwards, followed by Brian K. McNeill.
Hi, I'm glad you're looking better today, Peter. Hope you're feeling better, and family as well. Hi, everyone. I'm Alan from Hampshire in the UK, and I help property owners to solve their problems. So, for example, we're helping an office block owner. We've just acquired one office block from a pension fund. Actually, it's an office building that's been empty for a couple of years, and we're converting that into 5 flats. We're acquiring the building next door, and that's going to convert into 4 flats. I've just acquired a closed down care home in Bath in Somerset in the UK, which is a lovely location. It's got a lovely building built by a German count, would you believe? And it's got a sort of European look to it, but a superb building. And it's been closed down for more than 2 years. I first went there in September 22. I've been through 3 rounds of negotiations with the owner of that building and gradually built trust with the lady who owns the building. And she's finally agreed to sell it to me, despite the fact she's got 2 other offers on the building. So it's been quite a tortuous route, but I believe that I can help that lady, because we can conclude the transaction, which several of the previous transactions have fallen through for various reasons, usually to do with funding. But what we're going to do with that building, it's about 7,000 square feet, and we're going to turn it into 10 flats for vulnerable people. So it's called specialised supported housing in the UK. We're going to also create some specialised supported housing in the garden, subject to planning permission. So it's a win-win. It provides, instead of one large empty building, it will provide up to 22 residential units, mainly one-bedroom flats. So it will house 22 people, help to solve the UK housing crisis. It'll help to create homes, long-term homes for vulnerable people. It helps the lady who has had difficulty selling her building. She's had the ongoing costs of keeping a building empty, which are not insignificant when you look at a building that size. So it's a win-win for everybody. Cheers for now.
Thank you very much, Alan. Brian K. McNeill.
Good morning, Peter. Good morning, everyone else in this room. I'm sitting here in awe of the aggregate talent in the circle today. So we got an amazing group of people here doing amazing things. Well, my name is Brian K. McNeill, and I am a sales confidence leader. There are so many brilliant people that offer services that actually help others that still feel insecure when it comes time to asking for the money, or they feel nervous when it comes time to closing a sale, or they just lack confidence in that part of their business, even though they know they're helping the other person. And what I do is I infuse them with the confidence that they need to earn the money. And I do it through my coaching, through my workshops, with my talks from a platform, my groups, or my books. I've written 7 books. But I do this teaching them what to say and do so that they can have that confidence. That confidence in what they do, that confidence in asking for the business helps them to earn significantly more money than they would earn if they don't develop the skills to be confident in asking for the business.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you very much indeed. We've got some apologies before we get to the topic. Our apologies for today. Yogesh Kapoor, who was going to try and make it, but he's in the middle of all sorts of negotiations over there in China. Chris Willems, who joined us last week, as you recall, for the first time. He's absolutely flat out this week, but he'll be here again next week. Altaf from India, he's busy, he can't make it with us either. Glenda, she sent her apologies, and Joy Healy. Okay, and I actually had you down here, Mark, but you're here, so good to see you, mate. All righty. Our question and our topic for today is turning no into next. I don't want to put words in your mouth. I just want you to me, it's, we live in a world full of people, and at the end of the day, when we meet people, they may have situations that are maybe negative, maybe skeptical, maybe distrusting, maybe lacking in confidence, maybe uncertainty, a whole lot of things. What I'm saying to you, when you meet those sort of people, how do you handle that situation so people can share and learn from your experiences? I'm not saying how do you turn them into a client, but how do you actually help them to continue to talk with you if they're feeling in that way, shape, or form? That's what I'm trying to get at, all right? Because all of us face that situation sooner or later with somebody. So, Alan, you were first with your hand up today. So your call. Turning no into next.
Okay, thank you, Peter. Well, I started to explain about turning no into next on the case study that I mentioned about the closed down care home in Bath in Somerset. And at the time in September 22, when I started these negotiations, the answer from the lady owner of this care home to my offer was no. And I was surprised because I'd offered exactly the same offer in terms of amount of money as another competitor. And I asked her, I said, well, why did you accept the other offer? And she said, oh, well, the other person put their offer in first. So that was fair enough. That was a reason. So what happened subsequently, the other party tried to get funding to do something with this closed down care home. And they failed to get the funding for it. So it came back on the market in springtime of 23. And I tried again to negotiate the purchase with the lady. and tried various options which would give her the amount of money she wanted, which was actually more than I could justify with the interest rates and the values of the existing building and what I was trying to do and the costs involved and so on. So we didn't conclude a business transaction in last year, but gradually over this couple of years, we've built a relationship, and at this third round of negotiations, eventually she's agreed to sell the building to me because of the relationship we built. And so she actually gets more than the other two offers are offering. She gets rid of the building by the end of March this year, so she's off the hook with any liabilities. We've put down a non-refundable deposit, so she's aware of our seriousness about the transaction. We've already got funding in place to do this transaction. So I think the differentiator between turning no into next is building trust and building a relationship between you and whoever you're dealing with. It needn't necessarily be a property owner, but whoever you're dealing with, you need to build trust and build that relationship, as has been identified by many of the speakers on the call already. So I'm 100% on board with Yvonne's aspirations for building relationships and trust and so on. And certainly I need to develop my skills at this sort of things, because it shouldn't really take so long as I've taken to turn no into yes. Okay, cheers.
Alan, on the third occasion when you met with this lady, right,
Yeah.
did she volunteer to say, I've changed my mind, or did you have to actually talk to her again? Did she actually come with a changed mindset?
Well, I think she came with a changed mindset because she wanted to actually sell the building to me, and she's got two other offers on the building, so she could sell to either of those offers.
Yes.
But now the situation's reversed, and she actually wants to sell it to me because of the social purpose we're going to put this building to. She's got an emotional attachment to the building from her family who ran it as a care home, and she wants to see it being used for a social purpose, which is what we're doing. So the fact that I've demonstrated this to her, and I've introduced her to the people concerned who would be implementing this change from a care home into housing for vulnerable people, she's 100% on board with that.
Well, Alan, that's a perfect example of the fact that you could be the most charismatic person with the greatest amount of integrity, with the best possible offer, but sometimes people aren't ready. They're just not ready.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And by the very fact that you kept the connection with her and kept the door open, that simply shows there's a time and place for everybody if you're prepared to think the long game rather than the short game.
Definitely.
I agree with you.
Thank you,
Brian.
Peter.
Thank you, Alan. Brian.
Buckle up. I'm going to be brief, but buckle up. I will tell you guys, first off, I have to be really, really blunt with this, but the question of how to turn no into next is kind of a misnomer. Think about this here. Most of the time, and just consider in your business, how many times in the last year or 2 or 5 years did anyone ever even tell you no? Most of the time, they don't even say the word no because no is too final. They will give other reasons, not right now, which is a stall, or I got to talk to somebody else, or something else, or follow up with me. They'll say anything other than no. Now, from industry to industry to industry, you only get a few objections. Now, there's a difference between a condition, which is a valid reason why they cannot move forward, and an objection, which is an excuse. Now, if it's an excuse, you know what your demon is already in your industry. This is the only absolute term I'm going to give. All excuses can and should be overcome. All of the objections, the real objections. Most people have money as an objection, or timing as an objection, or complexity in the implementation as an objection. There might be one or two others, but that's about it. And most of us have one major one. So you should develop a way to handle that before the clients bring it up. You bring up whatever your typical demon is first and deal with it from a position of strength before your clients do. They're not going to say no. They're going to give you an excuse or a condition or a stall. Stalls don't worry about stalls. Don't try to overcome them. You help them. The example Alan gave today, I do agree with you, Alan. That could have been handled much sooner because they had a condition. They wanted it to be used for a social purpose, and you discovered they wanted that product to be used as a social purpose. The money in your world is not going to be the determinant. I don't believe will be the determinant whether they go with one company or another. But I do believe the one who sells it the best wins. Objections or conditions or stalls. Objections are excuses. Conditions are valid reasons why they cannot move forward. And a stall is just something to help them to get over because they don't want to stall if they can help it. So I don't believe no is the challenge. I believe deciding whether this is an excuse or valid reason and then addressing the excuse. That's Brian K. McNeill, the sales confidence coach.
Thank you, Brian. Well said indeed. Yvonne.
Okay, so for me, Peter, I'm going to speak from the experience that I gained over the years. Several times there have been people who have just not been ready, and I haven't pushed them. But and I'm speaking particularly of my coaching or my membership. I never pushed. I have conversations, and I leave it at that. But I follow up, and I maintain a relationship with them so that over time, we build an emotional connection. Because as you're all aware, until you have built that emotional connection with your client, with your prospect, you don't really have a loyal, and it's usually not the prospect, it's usually the customer or the client. You don't have a loyal client. Because that is why people leave you and they go and shop for somebody who is cheaper or for somebody who does this. Or so. Whereas when you have built the emotional connection, then people want to stay with you regardless of. So I have seen over the years, just by maintaining that relationship, many times it's been in person in my area, and just keep loving on them, greeting them, everything, and sending them little things that I know can help them. I've had people 4 years after we met, 4 years after we had our initial discussion, become my clients. And say to me, I remember one woman saying to me at the networking meeting, you remember that thing we talked about some time ago? I'm like, which one of the things? She said, well, you invited me to work with you. You wanted to help me. Yeah. I'm ready now. There have been times when I have not been able to bridge that gap to go from the no to a yes or next, but I leave it at next because it's either next they will become a client or next they'll remain my friends. That's it.
Good point.
I have no dramatic words of inspiration. I just share what has happened in my business over the years.
Good. Thank you. And because the no is not necessarily an objection. The no could be the very fact that they don't know what the problem is anyway. Or they want to grow, but they don't know how to do it. I mean, it's just it's an unknown factor. It's not just a negative. Okay.
And I also know that there are sometimes people really do not have the funds, but they will get it if they really see the need.
Yep.
They will get it because they will tell you they don't have the money, but they buy a 55-inch television.
Well said. Brenda, thank you. Thank you, Yvonne. Brenda.
Good morning. And I love this question, Peter. It takes me back to my very first days as an entrepreneur. And when people were telling me that I was going to make offers to people, that when I realized that I had to talk to people and I had to offer them something, if I wanted to succeed in business, I was going to need to sell something. And I had this fear. No, no, such a small little word. 2 letters. And yet I let it paralyze me for over 2 years of the beginning of my business. Because if I asked you a question, if I asked you, do you know someone who needs this product? Do you know someone who wants this product? Or can I help you get this product? Can I share more information with you about the product? If they said no, the answer, everything was in my head that I made it mean. And what I made it mean was that I had done something terribly wrong, or that I'd somehow insulted you, or that I would never be able to talk to you again about this solution. Then I attended an event where the challenge was to make an offer to every single person in the room. It offered every single person something. And I went, well, what if they say no? And the host said, what if they say no? And so I proceeded to try the challenge, and I made offers to everyone in the room. And I had a perfect score that I don't recommend you going for, because my perfect score was every single person in the room said no. But I went back a month later, and there were some new people in the room, and there were some people that I didn't know in the room. But when I went, okay, what am I going to offer them today? And then I went, well, I'm going to offer them the same thing. I'm a one-trick pony right now. I don't have anything else to offer them. And so I started my conversations, and I learned something very unique. People who said no to me last month were saying, I'm glad you came back, and I'm glad you offered again, because I thought of somebody since last month. I thought of somebody who really needs your help. I thought of somebody who is disabled and really needs to know about what you're offering, and let me introduce you to them. And my third time that I attended the event and asked the same question, I had a family who said, yes, help us now. And I helped their whole family. So my message is, no does not mean never. No does not mean you did something wrong. No means not today. And I love what Yvonne was saying, because the best thing you can do with your no's is follow up and stay in contact. Maintain your connections. See how you can help them in the future. See what they're working on. Express interest in them and getting to know them. And the best advice I ever heard came from somebody in this room. And I know he's going to say it when he shares his turnaround. Fall in love with your client's problem. And even if they're a prospect, even if they're not a client yet, you've got to you've got to be the detective. You've got to find out what their problem is. And then, yes, fall in love with it. So I am Brenda Marie Sheldrake, the Biz Leads expert at Biz Leads Expert. And I want to know what your problem is. Thank you.
Thank you, Brenda. Don't forget what Brian said. People generally don't say no. That's in your head. They don't say no. Okay? They actually say anything else but that. But if you said what you just said then, to find out what people's problems are, you won't get a no anyway. Think about that. Think about that. George, over to you. Thank you, Brenda, by the way. George.
Hello, everyone. I actually want to say this out loud so that everybody can hear it, and I'll remember it myself. So I've been studying this stuff for about 8 years already, and Alan had said something that really reminded me of what we'll say a negotiation is or a connection. And it is about building trust, but also connection. And when we can find out what a person's black swan is, meaning what is really important to them, just like Alan had mentioned, that the woman was very attached to the building and wanted to have it more of a sustainable type project, at that point, the money doesn't matter as much as it actually being that kind of a project. So if we can really connect with these people, find out what their black swan is. By the way, that's from Chris Voss, Never Split the Difference. The connection is instant because now we're speaking their language. So finding the black swan or finding out what's super important to the person on a personal level, not business. Business is easy. It's just numbers, and that's it. And it's all logical. But connecting with the heart is really understanding. That's what I got.
Thank you, George. Well said. Connecting with the heart. Well done. John D. Allen.
Share something a little different here. What's the word that up till 4 or 5 years old that we all hear the most? No. Talk about something that we all throw out. We've been told no a gazillion times by the time we're 4 or 5 years old. The other thing is, people have been so conditioned from all the sales crap and everything that's been thrown at them that they automatically think they have to throw up an objection or an excuse or whatever they want. So what's the first thing they think of? No, I got to think about it. I got to talk to my cat, my dog, my neighbor, the pet snake, whoever, right? But the whole concept is, it's like everybody else has been saying, and this comes back to what Brenda was saying, fall in love with your prospect's problem, not your solution or program. They don't give a damn what our solution or program is. They want to know, can you solve my problem? And in today's untrusting world, there's so much skepticism and everything else out there. Like Brian said, you have to get to their real problem. And when you get to their real problem and they own it, that's when they're going to do business with you. What happens with so many people is you throw out so much crap. And I will use that word literally because when you try to show them how great, grand, and wonderful you are by telling them everything you know and then some, a confused mind won't buy. People buy when they feel understood, not when they understand you. So make it your habit to let the people feel like they're understood. Like Alan was saying about the lady. It took 3 years for her to decide to sell. Why? She didn't understand, or she didn't feel understood. At first, she just went for the money. Those fell through. So for whatever reason it was, it came back to Alan, where he has what she's looking for. She feels understood. Her building is going to get used for what she feels it's worth. That's what people are looking for. Thanks, Peter.
Thank you, John. Understood is the word. Understood. Who else would like to contribute? Anita, would you like to say something?
I was thinking like it's better not to give somebody an opportunity to say no, but to ask them questions about, what their needs are and to focus more on them and getting to know them and to build that relationship with them. And then, seeing if you could actually offer them something that would solve that problem.
Mm-hmm. Tell me more. Anita? Oh, have I lost you? Can you hear me? Oh, I might have lost it. Anyone else? Pat, you want to contribute?
Absolutely. But it's pretty much, most people have heard me say this before, but people have to be in the right place at the right time. And if they're not, then you really just need to love them where they're at. And that's what everybody else in here has been saying. So you either do it directly or you do it just through social media and through your posts that you put up wherever you put your posts up. Just love them where they're at and let them come back to you. Excuse me. But people have to be in the right place at the right time to make that kind of a decision. And one of the things that I do that I learned from my mentor was if they think they're at the right place, but you can see that they're not really, because they're not taking direction the way they should, because they want to start doing what you're doing. If they're not taking direction properly, I give them an assignment. And typically what I do is I give them this book, The Greatest Miracle in the World. I have them read that. I have them do the assignment inside there. And I just tell them, read this book, and get back to me when you're done, and we'll talk about it. And the ones that read it and go through it and do the assignment, come back and we talk about it. They understand now what they need to do, and we go further with them. But yeah, love them where they're at. People need to be in the right place at the right time if they're going to make that decision.
Well done, Pat.
Thank
and
you,
using Alman, you know, because it's a third party, it's not you. So it's even less pressure on them when you think about it. And if they don't come back to you, sorted your problem out anyway, because they wouldn't have done the job in the first place. I agree. That's very
Not the
smart.
way it should be done. That's correct.
Yeah, well done. Well done. Kristine.
Yeah, the clients that I've gained had health problems, and they wanted to change the trajectory of their health because they knew that it would probably get worse. And so they were already convinced that they needed something, but they weren't totally sure what they wanted. I asked them questions about what they were experiencing, what they'd tried, what their feelings are, what they think is the cause, just in case they might know. But a lot of people, they've got no idea how they get these problems. And so there are different, in wellness, there are different options that I could offer these people. But one surefire way of finding out their situation, and that will be evidence to them, is that there is a test, a very simple finger prick test, a lot like you know, what diabetics have. And that test will tell you your risk of chronic disease. And so when these people have these symptoms, certain symptoms, they're already signs that they have the beginnings of chronic disease, because that's how they start. And people don't realise that that's how they manifest, and then over many years they develop. And so I can explain some of these things to these people, and because there's so many different conditions, I've got to be careful that I fully understand them. And when I organise that test, because I do the test for them, and I send it away to an independent laboratory to be tested, and their results come back, and they're quite surprised, shocked really, at the results, because they're not good. And it shows that they are at risk of chronic disease. But there's a very simple solution, and so I offer that to them, and they bought that solution. But the thing is, most people in wellness, people think, I'm well now, I don't need you. Well, why do you want to wait until you're unwell to get my help? I want to keep you well, because people don't realise the hidden symptoms that are there. They just ignore them. A lot of people ignore, I'm okay, I, you know, and people brush it off as, oh, I'm getting a bit older, so I've got a few aches and pains. But all headaches, aches and pains, all these things are symptoms that you are developing a more chronic problem down the track. And so this is a problem with people. And so I tend to try to educate, you know, and I give information to people, so that to get them interested in being proactive about their health and wellness, because now's the time to do something about it. So anyway, they're the sort of things that I face in what I do. Yeah, people think they're well, so they don't want to do anything. They don't need me, but they do. And because,
sorry,
I was just going to say that it's because of our diets and the way our food is being produced these days. It's not like it was in the 1800s and before that. And it's changed the nutrients that we take into our bodies, and that causes, well, that's part of the reason it causes the imbalance. And so 97% of people that are tested have an imbalance. And that's worldwide. Yeah, so it is a definite problem. And we need more education to get out there, because you think about it, all the chronic disease and mental health disorders are increasing at an alarming rate. And you think about all the health services and the knowledge and the supplements and the this and the that is out there, yet these statistics are still climbing. And that is a real concern to me. So I need, I want to educate people about this thing.
Okay, thanks, Kristine. Just about 2 hours ago, somebody reached out to me on LinkedIn before and booked a time. We had a brief discussion today. The bottom line with this guy, and he's not in my target audience. I mean, my target audience is small business. This guy he's the owner of a company. He's got a board of directors. He's got 155 staff. His problem is very simple. He's lonely. That's basically what he was lonely. He wanted someone to talk to. It was that darn simple, right? And that's the reason he reached out to me. He wanted someone to talk to. Plus the fact he knew in talking to me, because I said to him, you're not my target audience, but I'm happy to listen to. He said, how long have you been around, Pete? I said, too long. You've been in corporate? I said, yes. So we went through this conversation, and he knows there's something wrong in the organisation. He said, it could be me. It could be me. It could be a whole lot of factors, but I don't know. But I don't know who to talk to. Right? Well, I know I'm going to put him in touch with someone I know he's going to talk to. I mean, it's not me. I just got him to open up and be honest with himself. But that's a very simple example of a no to next. This guy was just lonely. He didn't know who to talk to. Really simple. Okay. Anyone else? Vangelis, you want to say something before we go?
Yeah,
By the way, you're the guy I'm thinking of. I'm going to send him to you.
Yeah, I was on a project in New York for about 7 months, and I went to one of those buffets, and they have all of their food choices up on the wall. So there's no surprise. There's no wondering what they offer. And when the person looked at me, because I was next in line, he looked at me, said, next. And I wasn't quite fast enough with what my order was. And he goes, next, to the next person. And I kind of watched around. I'm thinking, okay, I really got to know what I want here. So once I figured out how to say it quickly enough so he wouldn't go next, it really taught me something, because now there's some conditions here. If I'm very clear at what I do, and the person goes, no, I'm doing good. Okay, next. I have so many decades, not years, decades, where I helped people that didn't ask for help. So I'm coming from a different perspective. So many of you may not have had that experience, but I'm not chasing anyone. I had a lady I reached out to a couple of weeks ago, and I just sent one email, didn't hear from her. And she sent me an email yesterday. Oh my gosh, I've been out of town. I've been busy. We're definitely going to meet this week. So I'm not saying, and also in life, there are no absolutes. People say there are, but everything is unique for me. Sometimes my intuition says reach out. Sometimes it says no. This one I said no, and she reached out to me again. So I think you just have to kind of look inside and figure out, make sure that, because if, again, everything that everyone has already said, I totally agree with. I'm just adding something to the mix. So that's how I look at it. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Anyone before we go? By the way, Pat, you summed it up perfectly. Love them where they're at. You've said that nearly every week, and it's so darn true. So darn true. Anyone else?
Can I give a quick shout out?
Sure, please.
I just want to say thanks to everyone in this group who has been here. Well, some of you are more recent, but Pat, John, Brenda has been here for a while. Alan has been here, Mark. I just want to say thank you to John D. Allen. He is so supportive. John is on my email list. And without fail, if I never get a comment from anybody on my email list, John will send me, if it's even a one-liner, a response. And he gave me the most beautiful little testimonial, which I asked his permission if I can use it publicly. He said, sure. That's why he gave it to me. So I just want to say, Mark has been supported. Everyone has been supported. There's some people I need to talk with, like Vangelis, I need to talk. Pat, you and I have never really had a heart-to-heart. Brenda, we need to talk. Alan, so you know, this is just one of the groups that we're all in. I'm sure we're in many groups. And we have just so much time, but I just want to just say how much I appreciate the people who have been here. This is a 200th episode. I have not been here for all 200. I was not here for a long stretch during the time in Jamaica when we have to meet at 7 o'clock. I just couldn't do it. But I just want to say, even to the newer persons like Kristine, you know, and now Anita, I sent you a friend request, George, and so forth. I just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you above all to you, Peter, for organizing this group and for keeping it going.
Thank you, Anita, and thank you, Yvonne. Sorry. Okay. Without any further ado, I just want to thank you all for giving up your valuable time. And I'm hoping to see you same time next week. In the meantime, have a wonderful week ahead. And
Congrats on 200, Peter.
Pardon?
Congratulations on 200.
Yes,
Well, we did
Quite a
it.
testament to your to your commitment to this group, and man, what a consistent person you are.
Well, we did
yes,
it.
yeah, 200 weeks.
Peter, just say thank you and stop pushing it aside. Just say thank you.
Yeah, accept it. Just accept it.
God for you.
Bye, everybody.
Great seeing everybody.
Bye.
God for you. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you.